Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of business studies. Today we will be going to start a new chapter of business studies, that is chapter number 5, organizing. In the last class we had completed with the planning, and in that one topic left out, that was the types of plan, but that topic has been deducted or deleted from the syllabus of current year, so you don't have to learn that topic. Later I will be sending you to the details what topics are deleted from each of the topic for this particular session. Let us continue our chapter number 5, that is organizing. What do you mean by the organizing? Organize means to set up something so that we can start our work so as to achieve our objective. That itself is considered as organizing. Like for example, we thought to start a business. Yes, definitely. For that business, we will start making plan. After making planning, if whatever we had planned, we will bring out and we will implement it into the work. It will be considered as organizing. So let us start our chapter with the concept of organizing. Basically, the chapter main aim is to make the student understand the meaning of organizing, the process of organizing, the importance of organizing, meaning, advantages and disadvantages of functional organization, disadvantages and meaning, advantages and disadvantages of divisional organization, and later we will be learning formal and informal organization, in which also many topics has been deleted by the board for this session. Let us start our chapter with organizing from the main concept. Before learning the concept, let us start a chapter with a particular example of Wipro. Where to go? Wipro. It's not quite there yet, but the goal is certainly within reach. One of India's largest IT solution providers, Wipro Technologies, is taking to on the likes of IBM and Accenture in its effort to be included among the largest and most successful technology services companies in the world. Restructuring Wipro was considered the most important step in becoming a global giant, driven by the goal towards improved customer orientation. So that was the basic aim, to make the Wipro to enlarge in such a way it will become a global giant driven, means it will be known in the whole world by the customer orientation. During the past few months, Wipro separated itself into separate subsidiaries by product line: telecommunications, engineering, financial services, etc. Each subsidiary brings in about $300 million in annual earnings and is self-sufficient with their own accounting books, personnel and administrative functions. Wipro shifted from a centralized to decentralized management system. All responsibilities for growth lay with the management of each entity. We tried to delayer the organization and empower our business leaders with a much higher degree of growth responsibility, said by Premji. We removed an entire layer of executives. Adapted this article by Hared B. Malhotra for Epoch Times, Washington, D.C. So this article has been taken from this particular place, but still what we have learnt in this chapter, to enlarge the organization, whatever planning has been did for Wipro. Later the Wipro started organizing the things so that in future whatever the objective they had decided, that objective can be achieved. So this process what we have learnt is considered as organizing. In the third paragraph it has been the fourth paragraph it has been said, Wipro shifted from a centralized to decentralized management system. But I think centralized and decentralized meaning I had explained in the first chapter itself. Centralized means when power of taking decision is in few hands, means the top level management, and decentralization means when we are making the employees also to participate in the decision making. It means power to take decision has been distributed among many, then it is called decentralized. So Wipro shifted from a centralized to decentralized management system so as to make the active participation of all the employees, all the members of the organization, so that their work will become easier and to achieve the objective. All responsibilities for growth lay with the management of each entity. So this was the story of Wipro. Let us start our concept actually about the organizing. Once the plans have been laid down and objectives specified therein, the next step is to organize resources. As I already said, once the plan has been set up, the next step starts with the organize, in a manner which leads to the accomplishment of objectives. A critical issue in accomplishing the goals specified in the planning process is structuring the work of an organization to adapt to the dynamic business environment. The activities of an enterprise must be organized in such a manner that plans can be successfully implemented. For planning to be fruitful, a number of considerations like resources that will be needed, optimum utilization of the same translation of work into the attainable tasks, empowering the workforce to accomplish this task, etc., need to be understood and dealt with properly. It is evident from the way Wipro has moved towards reaching for its goals of becoming a globally successful technology company that cognizing plays a significant role in implementation of plans. Whatever we have learnt in this particular paragraph, the simple meaning is, after the planning process gets over, the next step of the management is to organize the things so that people can be appointed and they can start the work. In organizing, we set up the office, we set up the machines, we set up the resources which is required so that we can start our business. That itself is considered as organizing. So if we want the planning to be fruitful, a number of consideration and resources will be needed, and optimum utilization of the same translation of work into attainable tasks. So that is the point what has been explained. It is evident from the way Wipro has moved towards reaching for its goal of becoming a globally successful technology company that organizing plays a significant role in implementation of plans. What had Wipro done to become a contending force among other global giants? Are these lessons to be learned from Wipro's approach? It is a question which has been asked to you. What the story we have learnt in the above? In that Wipro done to become a contending force among other global giants. It means before the other companies it had stand up. Are this lesson to be learned from Wipro's approach or not? Do you think? Yes. Wipro organized itself in a manner that allowed customer orientation to dominate over other goals and diversified on the basis of product lines. Yes, definitely if we want to make our business to be giant, definitely in one particular product we cannot make our product to be giant. We have to introduce many new products in the market so that our business can be approached to the market in a big and giant way. So that only has been explained. It also modified the relationship within the management hierarchy to suit the goals. Yes, definitely with the product, with the resources, definitely one thing more must be enlarged, that is a good relationship with many other companies so that we can be a part of this market as well as we can achieve the objective what we want to achieve. So that has been explained. The management function of organizing ensure that efforts are directed towards the attainment of goals laid down in the planning function in such a manner that resources are used optimally and people are able to work collectively and effectively for a common purpose. Thus, it is in the context of effective management that the organization function earns due importance. It is a means for translating plans into action. The organizing function leads to the creation of an organizational structure which induces the designing of roles to be filled by suitably skilled people and defining the interrelationship between these roles so that ambiguity in performance of duties can be eliminated. Till now, whatever has been written, meaning is that where the planning which we had decided, according to plan we will organize the things. Like for example, when a bank has to be set up, in that bank where the cashier cabin must be there, where the withdrawal of 1 lakh cabin will be there, where the manager cabin will be there, where the peon has to stand up, where the guard has to stand, where the people can do the fixed deposit. All the things has arranged in such a way that when the people will come, they will not find any difficulty in that particular area. Even the people who are appointed roles, means who had to actually work here, there will be clear where they have to, where their place is in this particular organization, where they have to start their work, what the resources they will be getting and from where they will be getting. That all the things, if their things are organized, definitely work will become easier and they will be able to focus on the objective of the organization. So that is the main aim of organizing, to organize all the things in such a way that people's focus will be on work and they will be able to achieve the objective what has been decided. So that is the organizing. Now we comes to the meaning. Let us take an example to understand how organizing takes place. Have you ever paid attention to how the school fete which you enjoy so much actually takes place? What goes on behind the scene to make it the desired reality you want? The whole activity is divided into task groups, each dealing with a specific area like the food committee, the decoration committee, the ticketing committee and so on. These are under overall supervision of the official in charge of the event. Coordinating relationships are established among the various groups to enable smooth interaction and clarity among each in the group's contribution towards the event. All the above activities are a part of the organizing function. Organizing essentially implies a process which coordinates human efforts, assembles resources and integrates both into a unified whole to be utilized for achieving specified objectives. So that has been explained, students. That is organizing. Organizing event essentially implies a process which coordinates human efforts, assemble resources and integrates both into a unified whole. So this is the actual meaning of organizing. Imply process which coordinates the human efforts. Join the human efforts, coordinate between the people what they have to do and when they have to do, and utilize it for achieving the specified objective. Organizing can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationships, effectively deploying resources for attainment of identified and desired results and goals. So this can be the meaning what you can write. It is a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationship and effectiveness deploying resources for attainment. So here in this particular meaning what has been explained, I will be explaining you word by word. It is a process. First of all, it is a process means in this many steps are there that initiates implementation of plan. Whatever organizing we are doing, it must be according to the plan. It means according to plan we will implement the things so that people can understand what we want to make them understand and what they have to do the work. So that was implementation of plan by clarifying the jobs and working relationship. Working relationship here explain here it will be like who is the superior, who is the subordinate, who had to report to whom, what they have, what command they will be getting from whom. This all the things is considered as working relationship, and effectively deploying resources for attainment of identified and desired results and goals. So that has been explained as a meaning of organizing. Once again I will be repeating. Organizing, it is a process which initiates implementation of plan by clarifying the jobs and working relationship and effectively deploying resources. Deploying resources means whatever resources are needed, like for example in a classroom if you want to arrange, definitely benches and desks will be needed so that people when they will come they will be able to sit and they can learn. So that deploying resources for attainment of identified and desired result goals. So that is the meaning of organizing. You can write in this meaning in your copy for the board exam. Steps in the process of organizing. The next topic which we will be going to learn is a step in the process of organizing. Organizing involves a series of steps that need to be taken in order to achieve the desired goal. Let us try and understand how organizing is carried out with the help of an example. Suppose 12 students work for the school library in the summer vacations. One afternoon they are told to unload a shipment of new releases, stock the bookshelves and then dispose of all waste packaging, papers, etc. If all the students decide to do it in their own way, it will result in mass confusion. Yes, definitely. 12 students are there. If 12 will be thinking that they will be doing in their own manner, definitely the work will not get completed. Even there will be much more confusion and disasters also some of the time with the disputes. However, if one student supervises the work by grouping students, dividing the work, assigning each group their quota and developing reporting relationships among them, the job will be done faster and in a better manner. From the above description, the following steps emerge in the process of organizing. The above what we have learned, now we will be learning according to point wise. The very first step start with identification and division of work. In this process, we will identify the job opportunity which we want to induce. Like for example, in an organization there will be many tasks, many work. So a related group of job which we will get, we will unite it together so that no confusion will be there and no duplication of work will be there. The first step in the process of organizing involves identifying and dividing the work. Means in an organization what work will be done, that is identifying of work, and then dividing the work means the work in big form the work cannot be completed, so the work will be divided into small tasks so that each task will be assigned to one person and they can complete and help us to do the work. That has to be done in accordance with previously determined plans. The work is divided into manageable activities so that duplication can be avoided and the burden of work can be shared among the employees. I think the first point is clear. In this particular step of organizing, we will identify the work according to related jobs, and then we will make division of work. Like for example, a carpenter starts his work of manufacturing of a sofa. In that manufacturing of sofa, he will be dividing the work in small. Like for example, one will be cutting, one will be shaping the wood, one will be painting the wood, one will be giving the final touch to the wood. That way the work will be divided, though one thing only has been to be prepared, but the work has been divided now into 4, and that work will be done, and then together the objective of formation of sofa will be completed. So that way it is considered as identification and division of work. In this identification and division of work, one advantage is there: duplication of work will be reduced, no identical work will be done by the employees. Then the second process is departmentalization. In this departmentalization process, once work has been divided into small and manageable activities, then those activities which are similar in nature are grouped together. Such sets facilitate specialization. This grouping process is called departmentalization. So in this process what we have learned, like for example, related activities are there. There are 4 departments. One is purchase department, one is sales department, one is finance department. So here whatever activity related to money transaction, it will be considered in the finance activities. And related to purchase, whatever activity has to be done for the whole organization, it will be going to one department, that is purchase department. And the same way the sales activity will be given as sales department. So that departmentalization will be done of the related task. As all the sales will be passed to the sales department, all the purchases will be transferred to the purchase department. This is considered as second step of organizing. Assignment of duties. If the works are identified, division of work has been done, and then the departmentalization has been done. Now we will be appointing the people so that they will start the work, and we will assign them the duties. It is necessary to define the work of different jobs, positions, and accordingly allocate work to various employees. Once departments have been formed, each of them is placed under the charge of an individual. Jobs are then allocated to the members of each department in accordance to their skills and competencies. It is essential for effective performance that a proper match is made between the nature of a job and the ability of an individual. The work must be assigned to those who are best fitted to perform it well. So students, what we have learnt in this particular point, assignment of duties, the work has been divided and it is ready. So now we will appoint the person who is having the right capability and skill related to the job. Matching to the job skill and ability, we will be appointing the person, so that in that, according to this way of appointing the person, it will be specialization. The person will be already knowing the knowledge, already having the knowledge of doing the work. He will be starting to work, and he will become specialized in that particular activity. So that is the main task, main aim of departmentalization, and after that assignment of duties. And in this way, essential effective performance, that a proper match is made between the nature of a job and ability of an individual. Is definitely job will match to the people, and then definitely we will be able to achieve the target. The next process of organizing is establishing authority and reporting relationship. In the first step, we had identified, then we had divided the work, And then after dividing the work, related jobs we had made departmentalization. After departmentalization, we had assigned the duties to the person. Next process, after the assignment gets over, the next process starts is to establish the authority, means who is having the power to take the decision about the related job and who had to report to whom. It has been assigned to the in the particular job. So that is known as establishing authority and reporting relationship. Merely allocating work is not enough. Each individual should also know who he has to take orders from and whom he is accountable. So that is considered as that is considered as establishing authority and reporting relationship. So that's over. The process of organizing gets over. So this was the process. The next class we will be going to learn importance of organizing. Thank you.